Yaddle Chattle.
Yes, sir! It's Yaddle Chattle. It's a Star Wars podcast, baby, coming hot. Oh my God, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of news. A lot of stuff that's in the Star Wars galaxy. Just flying around, zipping around. And we're gonna cover it all. If you are new to Yaddle Chattle, understand this. What you are experiencing is the #1 fastest rising adult-themed Star Wars podcast. What is it? Recorded in New Jersey, hosted by two Quentin Tarantino fans. Is that what it is?
I think those are the qualifiers.
And our rankings on that very specific category are just through the roof right now. And we do so much more. We do the Yaddle, we do the Chattle, we do the Star, we do the Wars. My name is Darth David. I'm a Sith. I'm gonna bring the fire, I'm gonna bring the pain, and I mean that. I mean pain tonight. With me is Jedi Jared. Put it together for Jedi Jared, everyone. Come on.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you.
You know, maybe if we had like a little applause sound effect or something, that would be cool. Jedi Jared!
It's fine.
Boo! Fuck that guy! Yeah, I love him. I don't. We love Jared. No, we don't. Everything these days is polarizing. We will never agree on as a society on anything for the rest of our lives.
I don't know
want
about that.
Oh yeah, we're so fucked as a society that we will always find something to hate each other for over.
Oh.
And Jedi Jared's going to be one of those issues. There's going to be a whole bunch of people in November of 2024 voting. Do we like Jared or do we not like Jared? It's going to be an issue on the ballot box. I've put it there. Okay? I am making sure that that issue is going to be covered by the president. And folks, can I just say something? It smells delicious in here. And we have a Yaddle first. Hold on. First, let me get to Jared. Jared has brought something special. What have you brought today, Jared, on Yaddle Chattle?
My smoked meatloaf.
Smoked meatloaf, folks. Look at this, folks. Look at that. Does that look good, folks? Look at that, folks.
Secret
What are we looking at there?
Secret ingredients, barbecue sauce.
It almost looks like a burrito, though. I'm showing it to the Yaddle Chattle camera there.
That's bacon on top.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it smells good. Oh, yeah.
Good.
Now, I spilled a little bit.
You got bacon bits all
I
over.
spilled a little bit of it. Now, did you bring me any mashed potatoes? Because, of course, everyone knows you can't eat meatloaf without mashed potatoes.
No.
What the fuck? What?
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
Usually I don't make mashed potatoes with meatloaf.
You don't make mashed potatoes with meatloaf. What do you have as a side?
French fries?
French fries. That's bullshit. You can't sometimes you want to put the meatloaf in the potatoes. First of all, you got to hollow out the middle of the fucking mashed potatoes like a volcano.
And
you pour the gravy in.
Well, I don't make gravy.
You don't make gravy?
No,
what do you put in your fucking meatloaf?
I don't put anything. It's got barbecue sauce in it. And it's smoked.
Oh.
No, I don't make a sauce.
You make no sauces, huh?
No. That's too much work.
Too much work, he says. Well, not for me, ladies and gentlemen, because today I made ribs. Ha ha ha! And I've demanded that Jared tries one of my undercooked and poisoned ribs live on Yaddle Chat. I mean, delicious, sultry ribs that I made in the crock pot for this brand new segment. It's a new video segment for my radio station on WRAT 95.9 FM, Jocks and Crocs. Where on-air personalities and celebrities, such as myself, will make a meal in a crock pot because I don't know how to fucking cook barely. Except for my one dish, Doritos and cheese. Are you going to try one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Now, I made this all myself, but really the crock pot did all the work.
Yeah, that's where I cook my ribs.
All right. You're tilting the head like, I don't know. Why don't you get up, get the middle part where there's more fucking succulent meat. You're eating the ends where it's just little muscles and tissue. Eat from the middle of the bone, you motherfucker. Look at, okay. Oh, that's a good bite, Jared. Whoa! Half the fucking rib disappeared with that bite. A little fucking Fred Flintstone job over here. Look at this guy.
So,
Freddie Flint, I'm going to call you from now on.
the sauce is pretty good. It's honey.
Yeah, you're going to give a review right now? Okay, I think I can take that. Just be careful. Let me get this ready in case he gets that on.
I don't know how long do you cook it for.
I cooked those for 4 hours in the crock pot. I told you.
Yeah, 4 hours on high, right?
I don't remember the temperature. Details aren't, I'm not all about that.
It looks done.
Yeah. And? Yeah?
It needs more time.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyone that knows how to cook,
I'm taking them away from him. I'm putting him in the fridge. He doesn't get any more. If you were here, folks, you'd get one. I gave him a delicious goddamn rib, and he shits on it.
Well,
he shits on the ribs that I made him personally today.
No, they taste good. It's a tasty rib.
But
if you let it cook a little more, then it falls off the bone.
Shit. I know. But, I don't got all day. 4 hours is enough. I can't be sitting there in front of a fucking crock pot. Eventually, I have to go home. I couldn't just be sitting at the goddamn radio station waiting for ribs to cook all day. I'm sorry.
You said it's time where you take a nap and you come back.
I couldn't do it. We were filming a video. This is all going to be posted on our YouTube account at 959 The Rat and then displayed on our website, WRAT.com. And it's going to make me a big star, a big culinary star, a regular Julia Child, it will. Well, for someone who didn't like the rib, that fucking bone is pretty goddamn clean.
I said it was good.
Yeah. All right, should we get to some Star Wars here? Get to some Yaddle?
Sure.
Well, I'm going to start off with, I think, the most important story that we're going to cover all week. Yeah, this one's the most important. We're going to get to the Gina Carano. Carl Weathers dying at the age of 76. Oh, man, this actually really hurt. I got to tell you. First of all, I have a golden rule. And this rule was because it started in a major argument. Major, big-time, vicious argument between me and my elderly mother. So I should be disgusted with myself. And a lot of people should be upset with me. But listen, when I go hard, I go hard. If you're going to debate, you're going to debate. I don't care if you're Jedi Jared. I don't care if you're Beanie Mac.
I'm sure Beanie Mac went just as harder.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You want to step into the debate ring with Davey Mack, go be my guest. She says one day she's a big fan of Queen Latifah. And I go, bullshit. I never heard you talk about Queen Latifah in your entire life. So, bullshit, I'm calling you out. And she goes, no, she's from New York, folks. She goes, no, I love Queen Latifah. I swear, I love her. I go, okay, how? Well, how and why do you love Queen Latifah?
I actually know why.
Go ahead.
That Steve Martin movie, Bringing Down the House.
That was it.
Because my mother said the same exact thing.
Okay, it was the Steve Martin movie, Bringing Down the House. She saw the movie. She loved it. She loved Queen Latifah, was converted into a fan. And so she said she's the biggest Queen Latifah fan. Not, hey, I like Queen Latifah in that movie. She presented herself, Beanie Mac, as the biggest Queen Latifah fan. I said, bullshit, Mom. Do you even know that she's a rapper? She's a musician? She goes, oh, I had no idea. She sings? She's a rapper. No, she's a well-known rapper.
She sings. She was in Chicago.
She sings?
She was in
Chicago. She was in Chicago. Mom?
Yeah, I think she was in Chicago, yeah.
This spawned the Davey Mack rule, which I use universally with everything. You cannot call yourself a fan if you don't support the artist in 3 projects. Now, if it's a Queen Latifah, I'm talking 1 album, 2 movies, that's legal. You like 2 albums, 1 movie, that's legal. You like an album, a TV show, she's on one of those Law and Orders, in a movie, that's legal. It's got to be 3. In the case of bands, for instance, you got to like 3 albums. Don't say you're a fan if you don't like at least 3 albums. Don't say you're a fan of a director unless you like at least 3 movies. Don't say you're a fan of an actor unless you like him in 3 things. It can be a combination of movie and TV show. I don't give a shit. But 3.
3 properties.
All right? 3 properties. Okay? Well, I looked at Carl Lewis today.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, I apologize. Carl Lewis, I probably am going to say a lot, and just keep correcting me. Okay. He is from New Jersey, okay? One of the great Olympians of all time. You should know that. Carl Lewis from New Jersey, this Garden State right here. Carl Weathers, 5. Now, the paper's right in front of you. I should have tested you on this. Have you seen the answers?
I've seen it. I've seen them all.
So I was going to have you
guess.
No,
I've consumed all of those media.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to tell them instead of playing the fucking game.
But there is one. There's one you're missing that I'm actually a fan of.
All right. Hold on. Obviously, Apollo Creed.
Yes.
Predator.
Dylan.
Happy Gilmore.
Chubbs.
Arrested Development.
Himself.
Mandalorian. Greef Karga.
Greef Karga.
That's a phenomenal career. That goes above the Davy Mack 3 project rule. That goes into 5. And personally, if you go into 5, I think you're allowed to even say, like, instead of I'm a big fan of Carl Weathers, I am Carl Weathers' #1 fan.
Oh, I was going to say.
When you get into 5, you can start throwing some Ichiban shit out there and calling yourself #1 because 5's a lot.
I was going to say a Diamond Dave fan.
What's the 6? What's the one that I didn't forget?
Action Jackson.
All right. No, I actually like Action Jackson.
Wait a second. His leading role.
And hold on.
What?
And he did Action Jackson basically was a little toy in one of those Toy Story movies or specials. I forget if it was one of the Halloween special. Might have been the Halloween special, but I believe Carl Weathers
did the voice.
He had to.
Of course.
I think the action figure was called Carl. So, Carl Weathers is what a fucking career. Really very underrated. I'm like a big Schwarzenegger guy only because of Terminator. I can name way more shit that I like from Carl Weathers, I feel, than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Yes! Yes! I feel like there's a lot more shit. I named 5, and then we added 2. That's 7. And I'm just throwing Apollo Creed. That just counts as 1. Really, that should count as 4.
I think
because the Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's finally fucking killed in the 4th one. So really, we're shorting Carl Weathers here. Really, it should be 4 Rockies, a Predator, Happy Gilmore, Arrested Development, Mando. What was the one? Action Jackson, Toy Story. That's 10. All my life, I have apparently been the Ichiban Carl Weathers fan without even realizing it. I love fucking Carl Weathers so much.
I think...
And honestly, I didn't realize this literally until he died. But also, he's in such great shape, and he was so youthful. He looked great. Physique, everything, mentally, with it. When you saw him talk in the Mandalorian documentary, he just seemed like a great guy. He seemed so smart and with it and cool. And I know it's 76, but 76 these days isn't really, old. And I was shocked. And now that we've broken it down, I'm a fan of 10 fucking Carl Weathers projects. Carl Weathers apparently is one of my favorite actors of all time, and I didn't even realize it. Shame on me. God bless Carl Weathers. I love you, Carl Weathers. Rest in peace, you glorious, glorious son of a bitch, you. Because maybe we took Carl Weathers for granted and we shouldn't have. And I'm sick as fuck that Greef Karga's not going to be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie now. I'm really upset about Carl Weathers. This might have shocked you, Jared. But
No,
I'm more upset than I actually had anticipated, and more shocked and just bummed out of Carl Weathers' passing than I was anticipating.
Well, he was a cultural icon.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, we just listed pretty much all his major projects.
It's an amazing career that's so fucking underrated. You're talking all time. You're talking Oscar-winning movies with the original Rocky. Okay, you're talking one of the greatest comedies of all time with Arrested Development. You're talking fucking the Adam Sandler breakthrough movie because Billy Madison was his first and it was destroyed by the critics.
I love it.
But no. This is what happened. We all loved it. Everyone who saw it loved it, and it made millions of dollars, and it was a huge hit, and all the critics had to eat shit. And so when Happy Gilmore came out, they all complimented that one and said how funny that was. So Carl Weathers actually benefited from that. He wasn't in Billy. Billy was a little bit too crazy. They couldn't have Norm Macdonald lighting shit on fire and stomping it out, put it on the porch. But it is, Chris Farley doing a fucking striptease in some weird-ass fantasy sequence. There was one. But so Carl Weathers is that. I mean, as we're talking about, and then in Star Wars, I mean, this amazing career, and then he tops it off with a great character in Star Wars and someone who directed multiple Mandalorian episodes, and all of his episodes are great. He does the action episodes. Oh, I love Carl Weathers. You and me.
Actually, I think he directed the one episode of Mando season 3 you didn't like.
No, I like the pirate.
No, he directed the other one.
The Dragon?
The Dragon.
Are you sure? No, but see, I never blame the director. You know this. I blame
the writer.
I blame the script. Yeah, I blame. Come on.
You blame John Favreau.
That's literally the one episode I fast forward in Mando. I honestly, I don't go past any Mando episodes. I don't like the one where the dragon or the bird or whatever the fuck gets the little kid. Yes, we discussed this.
I saw the Facebook post with Ahmed Best, and he was saying like, "Thank you, Carl, for like."
But he did one of the Bill Burr ones, or maybe both of the Bill Burr ones, and both of those episodes where you're talking
the jail heist one.
He might have done the jail heist, but in season 2, remember where they needed Bill Burr, recruited him?
Yeah.
Yes, that was cinematic, and the action was among. Go back and watch that episode. That I'm positive Carl Weathers directed. The action in that is absolutely movie screen worthy. It is phenomenal action in that episode. It looks great. It feels great. The pace is great. That's a tremendous, underrated episode right there. The second Bill Burr one.
I think that a lot of the guys of his generation are like, it's kind of like a dying breed because we don't have those action stars anymore that are like big, jacked. They're larger than life. They're incredibly charismatic. Like, you look, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Stallone, all of those guys in the 70s and 80s that were like the action stars then. Yeah, right. That doesn't exist anymore.
No. Well, because if you're a big, strapping, handsome man, they call you toxic. If you're like a big, strapping man who's like, yeah, come on, I'm going to shoot some guys. They're like, well, that's a fucking toxic dude out there. So Chris Pratt is like built like one of those old school guys. But then he kind of has the soft, neurotic,
Well,
I'm Chris Pratt.
Well, his whole thing was playing Andy Dwyer on...
I never watched that fucking show.
Really? It's a great show. Yeah. It was a great show.
I know. At a certain point, it felt like NBC only had Office-type shows.
Mockumentary-style shows?
Whatever, yeah. It felt like it was like, is this the fucking Office cinematic universe? The OCU is taking over NBC? Because I mean, it's like every fucking show. There's Community, there's this, there's Parks and Rec, there's goddamn Office, there's this or that. Okay, enough. I don't need like 8,000 fucking shows of quirky people staring at the camera doing fucking dry one-liners. Thanks very much.
Oh, you don't like Ted Lasso?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
I'm watching Star Wars right now. I'm very sad. Final thoughts on Carl Weathers. We should just end this show, actually. It's going to be a special 20-minute episode, even though we have a lot to talk about.
F to Carl Weathers. He was great. He's gonna be missed.
Wait, what did you say?
F is like rip. It's it's what the kids use to say like rest in peace. F.
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 Carl Weathers sounds like
No.
fuck Carl Weathers to me.
No, it's F. It's just F.
Yaddleheads, did you hear him say F. Carl Weathers too?
Like rip. Yeah. Rest in power.
If you're trying some fucking code
No.
where you and some other guy who hate Carl Weathers are
No.
laughing behind my back while you got F. Carl Weathers on the air on Yaddle
I
Chattle.
mentioned Action Jackson. I love Carl
All right.
Weathers.
All right.
That's a great movie.
But Carl Weathers is great. He really is. So I'm going to really miss Carl Weathers. I actually thought he was very, just looking back on it, going, man, that's a 50-year career, bro. That's a fucking phenomenal career of being in all this awesome shit.
I mean,
It's a cool career. It's a cool career is what it is. I can't tell you how much I love Arrested Development. I've only watched it exactly once. It's almost like I'm afraid to go back and watch it again. I binge watched it after the course of 2 weeks. And I was like, yep, putting that into the Cheers and Seinfeld category of Larry Sanders as well. That's maybe my Mount Rushmore. And Arrested Development. Boom. That's it. And there's Carl fucking Weathers. And then Happy Gilmore. The crocodile eats his goddamn hand. Carl Weathers. Fucking Apollo Creed.
He was
Carl Weathers.
I don't know what they're gonna do with those Gronk ads now. I mean, the Super Bowl's here, but he was part of the Gronk kick campaign.
Oh, he was gonna be on that kick.
Well, no, he was part of the campaign. He was
he was probably gonna be there, bro.
Probably he was gonna be. He was playing. He was like basically reprising, like playing
That's it.
his.
I'm
version
not watching
of
the
Chubbs.
Super. I'm not watching the Super Bowl this year because Carl Weathers was apparently going to be a part of the fucking halftime kick with Gronk. That's it.
Or at least he was part of the ad campaign.
Well, I'm done. I'm protesting the Super Bowl until they bring back Carl Weathers from the dead.
Okay.
We can do that. We did it to Palpatine. What should happen with Greef Karga?
Oh man.
Yeah, oh man. Now we're fucked. God damn it. Maybe they need to get Mando and Grogu off that fucking planet.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
Because you got Greef Karga and the lady we'll talk about next, Gina Carano. One fired, one passes away. Maybe just get him off. Get him off the goddamn fucking
You know
thing.
what might happen is that might be the impetus of the movie. Like part of the movie is, Mando and Grogu were on some mission. They're like, this is how it starts. And they come back to their home and the whole thing's destroyed. And Carl Weathers' character was dying, saving people. So, he dies a hero, right? And then the rest of the movie is them seeking revenge.
Not a bad idea. There's got to be like a little footage somewhere. Maybe we can have a quick little flashback of a Carl Weathers, Greef Karga death scene.
Or they just do the CGI stuff.
Yeah. All right. Gina Carano. So this is the other big story. Suing Disney with the help of Elon Musk.
Oh, it's hilarious.
The crazy thing is...
This has worked before.
Okay, but here's the thing that I'm surprised about. If you did the lawsuit, why not ask for millions and millions and millions of dollars? She's only asking for $75,000, but she is asking for her job back. That's the big, huge headline. She's asking to be reinstated into Star Wars.
Well, she was supposed to get her own show.
Yes. She was going to be on that sheriff show, and she was probably going to be the main fucking sheriff or whatever the fuck they were called. The Rangers. Yeah.
She wants her job back. She wants to work.
Yeah, no shit. This is why everyone told her, just watch your piece. Just fucking unplug from Twitter. I mean, I'm sorry. I have like mixed feelings about this. Because if you gave me a job in Star Wars and they told me to fucking deactivate every account I have online, I would. I'm sorry.
I mean, there have been a lot of other egregious things that have happened and other far more egregious tweets and social media posts and stuff like that. and I personally think that she was fired because she had the wrong political
Uh-oh,
beliefs.
here we go, Jared.
No, that's all I'm gonna say.
Jared's getting into the... You thought that because she had opinions that were different than some of the leaders at Disney.
Potentially.
Okay. She was fired for that. I mean, I can't say you're wrong. And again, this is like one of those weird issues where it's not like I'm going to bash Gina Carano, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like I'm not going to fight for Gina Carano needs to be reinstated. It's like,
well, look,
dude, look. I work for fucking, a big radio station in New Jersey for a big radio company that owns 80 radio stations across the United States of America. Okay? And they've expanded to not just radio, but all media, including digital, including podcasting networks. That's how my son and I, the Eastside David Son Wrestling Show, was syndicated nationally. And if they told me, Davey Mack, take down that tweet, I'd do it. I understand that everyone feels so fucking important these days.
I don't.
And everyone is so goddamn, self-absorbed because social media has fucking brainwashed us into thinking that we're all the most important person on the planet and that the entire universe revolves around all of us individually. I understand that that's the case. But just fucking don't tweet stupid shit while you're in the Star Wars if that's what they're asking. There's some of this is like, look, play ball. You want to be in Star Wars? They say don't tweet out stuff. I don't care what they're saying.
I don't know if that's actually true. Again, we don't know. I think there, like I said before, other Disney properties with other people having different opinions and not being held to the same standard is, it's hypocritical.
Well, I mean, I understand that your point on that. And so one could make the argument that Disney should be consistent. And the bottom line is you should probably tell everyone no political talk because people are going to fucking get polarized instantly. You are going to split people, and you are instantly going to get 50% like and 50% hate, and we don't need that in Star Wars right now. This goes back to my larger point, which is stop with the messages, the societal messages, the fucking, the stupid modern day lessons that you're trying to teach that are fucking lame and too temporary, and obviously politics. Stop all that shit with Star Wars. Get back to cool storytelling and mythology, and you'll be just fine. So, one thing I'd say about that, Jared, to sort of agree with your point is if you're going to go for consistency, Star Wars should tell all of their actors, leave it all alone. We didn't hire you to be the fucking president. We didn't hire you to be a senator or a congressman. And if this infringes on your American rights, all right, before you sign up for the job, if your freedom of speech and you feel it's so important for the world to hear you espouse whatever your political beliefs are, right or left, then do it. But you're not going to work on Star Wars. We're going to make that deal because we, Star Wars creators, are going to get back to storytelling and mythology and coolness. And we're sick of all the other bullshit. So they should probably tell all of their actors and creators, cut the shit.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, then they're fucking up, and we're going to be doing this fucking shit forever.
Yeah, but you can't say when Hollywood or specific actors donate, you can't stop them from donating to a political campaign.
Donation's one thing.
No, it's not, because Citizens United apparently has basically said, corporations are people too, and I guess vice versa. Whereas like an actor can do whatever they want. Money talks.
Yeah, I think though what I'm saying is a political donation. If some fucking Hollywood person writes a check for $50,000 and gives it to the presidential candidate, like we are not going to necessarily know about that. I'm talking about when the fucking actor is going to go on to the goddamn social media and start telling people this, that, the other thing.
Yeah,
and then
happen.
everyone freaks out when 50% of the people, no matter what their views are, 50% of the people will fucking hate them. That's the reality of America right now, that like people are really fucking having a difficult time to grasp. If you have a political opinion, 50% of the country hates your fucking guts.
I don't think it's that.
They fucking hate you. No, it is. And it's
what you see
anyone.
on media.
It's anyone. No, it's the truth.
I think that there's a lot of hyperbole. People just saying things for the sake of saying it. I
agree with that.
I believe that people actually have more in common, and they actually have way more beliefs in common than they actually want to believe.
Spoken like a Jedi. I'm a Sith. I think social media and the media in general has ruined everyone's brain.
That's what they do.
And as human beings, we've devolved, and now we're a bunch of fucking idiots.
I don't
pretty
think,
much.
I think,
and a lot of us are evil on top of being stupid.
You pull
what we should do is probably start thinking of a way to get off this planet, me and you, and then blow this fucker up.
No, I'm good. I like here.
I didn't say you couldn't take your family with you.
I don't want to live in space. That scares me. I've seen.
Did I say space? We're gonna fucking find a nice planet, you son of a bitch. Mars looks nice.
Gotta travel through space first.
You wouldn't travel through space to get. What if we could find another Earth where it was just me, you, your family, just us?
No.
Just you.
Cats, you know what the scariest movie? I've said this before. The scariest movie I've ever seen in my entire life was Gravity.
It's a great movie. I just rewatched it.
It's a great movie, but the entire time I was anxious. Like, it was anxiety inducing. It was the scariest movie I've ever seen. It's true. She's surrounded by death. She's all by herself. No one can help her. It's the scariest fucking, like, that is the scariest.
This is how I know that you're a Jedi and I'm a Sith, because I found it to be the most peaceful movie, and I was like, this is how I need to die. In fact,
shot into space.
In fact, like, I sort of would like to do that. And if I can't get back and I just die out here, that's fine. I'm sorry. The entire planet Earth is bumming me out right now. Maybe I'm just depressed because of Carl Weathers. I see everyone at each other's throats. It's very embarrassing. We're all human beings.
What is the Elon?
We shouldn't be this upset, but we all are. We're all just upset. It's something stupid.
What do you think the angle is with Elon Musk, though?
He has the deep pockets, and he fucking hates Disney. What do you think?
Oh, so it's like a Peter Thiel, Hulk Hogan situation.
Yeah, actually. This brings me you know what? I just brought up a Death Star. I want to get into a theory that I have.
Go ahead.
Because I read an article, and I'm not going to say it because it sucked.
Was it CBR?
It sucked, but it basically said, theory on how the second Death Star got built. And basically the article summed it up to, since they built the first one, they knew what they were doing on the second one. And I'm like, bro, that's your theory? That kind of sucks, brah. As far as theories go. Now, you want a theory? I'm going to give it to you right now. And my theory is that both Death Stars were being built at the exact same time, and the Emperor's trap goes all the way back to the first Death Star, which is why he wasn't there. But he knew and could feel that the son of Skywalker was now a rebel pilot, and figured if that kid could get to the Death Star and have an encounter with Vader, boom! That is Luke unlocking the thing in Vader, which is, hold on, the Force is strong with this one. And then he can start to fucking plant the seeds of Darth, that kid. Remember that kid, Luke Skywalker, which he does in Empire? He goes, that's your son, the heir to Skywalker. That's impossible. That can't exist. In other words, how is the Emperor going to ensure that Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader are going to meet up and in a succinct way? get him to meet at that first Death Star, and allow, believe it or not, allow the Emperor will sacrifice anyone like that.
I mean,
fucking Dooku, fucking, yeah.
Tarkin.
Everyone. So, I mean, yes, he will sacrifice you like that. Dooku, Maul, he doesn't give a shit about. He doesn't give a shit about Anakin. He's ready to fucking throw Anakin away like that for Luke Skywalker. So, while the rebels are blowing up that first Death Star, they think they fucking won. Basically, they think temporarily they've won a galactic war. Not realizing Palpatine has another Death Star being built at the exact same time by Andor, as secretly as possible. I think Palpatine may have even leaked some of the plans. Maybe even got some of the events in Rogue One started. Because he wanted this whole fucking thing to culminate in a Death Star 2 matchup. And he wanted to beat the rebels once and for all. When the rebels saw the second Death Star and saw it looked like it was half completed, they go, well, let's fucking fuck this thing up. Because they know what a completed Death Star should look like. They just saw one. What are you making these fucking faces for? This fucking shit is gold. You tell me what's wrong with it, because you're fucking Mr. Quizzical over here. I see your fucking faces.
There's a long period of time passes between the first and second Death Star.
Like, no, it's not a long period of time. It's fucking 3 years at most. Not even. It might be a year and a half. They took 20 goddamn years to build the first one. Hello, they started building it in episode 3. We saw the fucking Death Star. The frame of it.
It took them 20 years to build it?
Yes! We saw the frame in episode 3.
Okay, yeah, no, I get that. So, and then the Death Star is
So it didn't get completed until Rogue One / New Hope. That's my point. So there is no way. And it's the same fucking technology. It's the same empire. They're not all of a sudden going to have technology from episodes 3 and 4. It's going to take them 20 years. And what? They just came up with something? No, stop it.
They built instead. Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe they staggered it. That
they were building 2 at the same time. And potentially, who the fuck knows how many Death Stars there even are? Maybe there's 5 or 10. But my point is, they built those 2 Death Stars at the same time, but specifically, Palpatine, in fact, let the events of episode 4 somewhat happen. It still is a happy ending because, I mean, the rebels still, accomplished something. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, now you're minimizing their thing. No, this is a Death Star. It is a base network. It did blow up Alderaan. For revenge, for safety purposes, the rebels won that battle. But again, Palpatine wasn't on that shit. He could care less. He wanted that fucking thing to, so that when they got to the second one and it looked like shit, basically looked like my car falling apart, then it's a trap. Then they know that they're fucked. Now, what do you think about the theory now?
Okay. No. I'm trying to think about all of this. So I think maybe they staggered it. I don't think that.
What do you mean staggered?
Well, they obviously it took them 20 years to build, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we're working out the kinks. We're building this. Then maybe in like year 5, they're like, let's build another one. Fuck it. Just do what we got to do. Because it's during Andor, right? We see that everything that they're doing in the One Way Out arc was
stuff for the Death Star. It was specifically, it looked like it was for the satellite dish.
And that's 4 years out from the events of A New Hope.
Exactly.
Right? So you got to think that it took them a while. They started working out all the kinks because this is a massive undertaking. This thing's the size of a moon. And you're like, well,
But But
Why destroy one planet at one time when we could destroy 2 planets at the same time?
Why not have 2 Death Stars? Why not have 5? Why not have 10? I think genuinely the Emperor built the 2 and sacrificed the first in order to basically get everything accomplished in the 3rd.
But what was the thing with the Bath and Spies?
Allowing the first one to exist, he had the vision that this would be the first encounter, though they were in spaceships. This was the first legitimate encounter of Luke Skywalker and Vader. He had the vision. Vader goes, the Force is strong with this one. So he knew that, okay, I will have the vision, and that's their first encounter. I will take that encounter. I will go to Empire Strikes Back, the very next movie, do the hologram, and say, remember that kid? Remember that the Force is strong with this? That's your son. That gets Vader going crazy. Meanwhile, he's doing the 3rd Death Star. He tells everyone, oh, it's not finished, it's not finished. Oh, fuck you, just kidding, it's a trap, and I'm going to blow you up. And this allows Luke and Vader to meet on that thing. I mean, it's all there. Palpatine, in my opinion, allowed that first one to get destroyed and had that second one basically in his back pocket in Episode 4 era. And that's why my theory is far superior to the shitty article I read online, where the guy just basically said the technology was better.
They learned from their mistakes, blah, 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 blah. I'm guessing that's what the article
Something like that. It's just not very creative, isn't it? I mean, my thing at least makes fucking Palpatine the man. You know?
Yeah.
And I think it kind of makes it sort of cool that it makes the first Death Star not such a failure to the Empire.
It worked. It proved that they could do it.
And it was a whole and it was
a fully operational.
And it was the one that they really don't give a fuck about. Because they're the one that they're building by Andor is going to be the one that really fucks them up.
Speaking of that.
What?
Well, you asked me to rewatch Episode 9.
And you did?
I watched like half of it.
You watched half of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I actually got a pretty decent take on this.
I haven't said anything. Go ahead.
I think this would have made a better Episode 8 than 9.
Explain.
It's a scavenger hunt.
I like it.
And they're going from planet to planet to planet trying to solve this puzzle. It's not a finale film. That is an Episode 8. It's similarly it's hitting some of the same beats in
Not
Episode
bad.
2 in Episode 5 and 2, where it's like, okay, what's the plot of Episode 2? It's there's 2 subplots. There's someone's trying to kill Padme, so Anakin is playing the bodyguard, and then you have Obi-Wan on like investigating this. There's this clone army, who authorized the clones, and it's him doing this like kind of police investigation, a scavenger hunt. He's solving all the clues and stuff like that, right? Episode 5, Luke's going off the train. Okay, makes sense. What is Han and Leia doing? They're trying to escape and hide out. Perfect, like, in between. Episode 9 is supposed to be the bookend. Big, epic battle. Like, it's supposed to be the grand finale of the Skywalker saga.
Correct.
Right? There's no Skywalkers, because they're all dead. You brought Lando back in the last, like, I understand, like, some of the
How
logistics.
you doing, Chewbacca?
How some of the logistic stuff, but Lando should have appeared in Episode 8.
Hey, these are all valid points.
And like,
so you would just want Episode 8 to be deleted. Episode 9 takes its place. Then what?
Well,
what
no,
would
I
the
think
new,
I
what
think
would the new finale be like?
Some of the subplot of maybe instead of even whatchamacallit, it would be, I think that having Rey train while Poe and Finn and Rose are on this scavenger hunt trying to find the Wayfinder, and like Leia
I like
knows
it. What
about
I'm
the
saying
Wayfinder.
is, what do we do in Episode 9 then? If Episode 9 is Episode 8,
Well, there would be a few other things. Because there would be a whole other subplot where you see, we were talking about last week, and you're like, well, whatever, Snoke and bringing back Palpatine's fine. But I've always been a big fan of the Star Killer thing, where Darth Vader had a secret apprentice, and it would have made far more better sense to make Snoke like a secret apprentice that Vader had, hates the Skywalkers and wants to destroy them because Vader was the closest thing he actually had to a father. And once Vader found out
bring back
that,
Star Killer for episode 9.
well, make Snoke's, like, don't kill Snoke off, but make it so that there's this big grand finale where they're going to eliminate the Sith altogether. But Palpatine is dead, and Snoke is the big bad guy.
Okay. Do you think, though, if Snoke remained the big bad guy, he would have just gotten, by the end of the sequel trilogy, a lot of people would say, well, he was just like Palpatine. That's why I said that the Avatar I sort of actually liked, because Snoke was exactly like Palpatine. I mean, literally. They didn't do a good enough job. You know, the way they talked, the way they sounded, their demeanor, their vibe, their everything. He's just very Palpatine-ish.
I think giving the Star Killer backstory would add more depth to it.
All right, fair enough.
And make, like, the motivations more clear. And then maybe they could have, because, again, the reason why people shit on episode 9 so much was because, you know, in episode 8 he took off the biggest chess piece.
Yeah, stupid.
And he kind of left it, like, I don't want to go back into it,
but
he left whoever was doing episode 9 a very, like, sticky situation of what to do.
All right, fair enough. Now listen. Well done. Stellan Skarsgard, Luthen, on Andor, says they're practically done with Andor. He says he is extremely happy with the ending. Says he loves reading the dialogue. He loves reading and acting and reciting the lines that Tony Gilroy gives him. But I specifically wanted to highlight, he said he was very happy with the ending, which I thought is a very cool thing to say that, again, we don't hear. And this is all we want from the fucking people is just, hey, we got a very cool ending.
Oh, no.
Just give us some shit.
I don't remember the exact quote, but it was like, I love saying the words that Tony Gilroy writes.
Yes, no, he said that, but he also said that he likes the ending. Well, I'm concentrating on the ending.
Oh, okay.
Because, for a reason, because we just... the issue with the sequel trilogy, in my opinion, was that it wasn't planned out well. And if Andor continues on this, and let's say Andor has a second season, what lessons are we going to learn from that, Disney? Tony Gilroy came in with an extremely tight, focused timeline.
Well, he knew where...
Timeline! That's the key. No, but he came in with, like, for instance, season 2. You know, they've said it to us. 12 episodes, 4 3-episode arcs. The first one will be 4 years out. The second one will be 3 years out. I love the organization. I love it. So, you know, again, if Kathleen Kennedy wants to look at, you know, what has been massively successful just in terms of unifying the Star Wars fans, Rogue One and Andor, what do they seem to have in common? Tony Gilroy and a lot of organization, of planning, of knowing where you're going. And that's why Stellan Skarsgard's like, you know, oh my God, people can't wait for the ending. I can't wait for the ending now.
Well, obviously it's going to set up for Rogue One, because that he knows where it's got to end. It's got to end with Rogue sometime.
Yeah, but you know, we got a lot of questions, brother. I don't think Luthen's going to make it out alive.
No.
So I want to see how he kicks the bucket. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good shit right there.
Oh, I agree. And
I love that Stellan Skarsgård too. Jesus.
But what I wanted to go back to was, if you didn't happen to notice, with everything coming out, we haven't heard, especially, again, I go back to The Acolyte. No one's saying shit like this. It's so well written. I love saying the dialogues. I love reading the scripts.
I think someone at Disney's gotten the memo finally, whether they're listening to Yaddle Chattle or something, based on what we said last week, where Daisy Ridley just said, "Yeah, I can't wait for this new movie about Rey. The story is as cool as shit," which is literally what we advised Disney to just tell the fucking actors to say. And now you're having another actor say, "I love the ending." I hope and pray that Disney and Lucasfilm are actually getting the message. I'm taking these two instances as good signs. You said that you got an email, speaking of the Rey movie, where someone is
now I want you to take
upset at us.
Well, he's not necessarily upset with us. Jeff from Philly, huge Eastside Dave fan.
Oh, well, then I love Jeff from Philly.
Huge Yaddle Chattle fan.
I mean, then Jeff from Philly, you know what? 500 points for Jeff from Philly right now. Right now, 500 points. Put that, yep. Joe Dallas, please record that.
So Jeff asked me, he hit me up, he asked for the Yaddle Chattle email, so I sent it to him, and he sent me this. He goes, "Dogsies, another Star Wars podcast, Scavenger's Horde, said that Charmine's comment about making men
Charmine Obaid Chinoy, the director of the Rey movie.
Yes. About making men uncomfortable were taken out of context, and that she only said that in reference to her documentary about acid attacks on women in the Middle East. Scavenger Horde is two liberal British chicks, but I did a quick search, and it checks out, I think."
I mean, we're not going to comment on that.
I know. I know.
All right,
yeah.
Let me just say. So, in order to respect Jeff from Philly, Jared and I watched the clip before the program.
Yes.
Now, here's what I'll say.
It was on a panel hosted by Jon Stewart.
And while Jon Stewart asked her about her documentaries, right?
Yeah, so
then she launched into a more general statement. And the more general statement was that, the only way for men to change is to be made to feel uncomfortable, is to be made to see what they do to women. And these were general statements. I understand that it was during a discussion of one of her documentaries, but then she used it as a launching point to say that she generally likes to treat men in that way. At least that's the way it sounded like to me.
It's because they were talking about art. So it's in the context of the documentary, but she was speaking kind of, it sounded like generalities. Like
it sounded like a generality. She wasn't saying, "I am trying to confront these men who throw acid." I mean, listen, it's fucking horrible. It's nightmarish. In the Middle East, they throw acid on women's faces, like for no reason. It's evil. It's immoral, and it's wrong. I'm happy she's making the documentaries about this topic. I hate to be a dick. Show that documentary in the Middle East. Because in America, we don't throw acid in women's faces unless we're a deranged fucking lunatic criminal who then will get fucking thrown in jail and get electrocuted deservedly. But we don't go around throwing acid in women's faces in this country. I'm not trying to be a dick. But the point is, she was speaking in generalities. And it was, men, you got to see what you're doing to women. Chill. Maybe in the Eastern Hemisphere. But in the Western Hemisphere, it's not really, it's pretty much frowned upon for men to just randomly throw acid on women's faces. My only point being that I understand she's an important filmmaker and documentarian, but the culture that she needs to change is over there, where if you don't like a woman showing an ankle, throw acid in her face. Like, I understand. You're right. Those men need to change. You're right. Make those men feel uncomfortable and change that society. 100%. But we don't do that over here. And I know these are going to be, this is no, it's not. It's just the preachy shit doesn't apply to Star Wars fans anymore. we're sick and tired of being preached to or taught lessons to that aren't mythological and moral lessons that Star Wars has been teaching people for generations. In other words, timeless lessons rather than the current fucking lessons of modern day society, which could change in a week. We've seen things where values and fucking things and the way people behave or the outlook people could have 2 years from now, it could be totally flip-flopped. And we're going to have the exact opposite opinion. That's why mythology is important, because it's timeless. And my point is, she was saying that. She was using her documentary and her Middle East experience of these rotten, awful fucking men who would do this evil shit. How does it apply to Star Wars? That's the point, Disney. I'm sorry.
I think there.
Am I wrong for saying it?
Well, there was.
Am I wrong?
I think you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is, it was the comment came right at. So let's look at the bigger picture. The comment came right after her talking about how it was like how she was the chosen one now for a woman to shape Star Wars, even though Star Wars has a very long history of women shaping the content.
That's the other thing. It wasn't just the men uncomfortable thing. She said she made herself out to be the woman messiah of Star Wars, even though Deborah Chow and Bryce Dallas Howard have done incredible jobs directing, and the goddamn fucking franchise is run by a woman in Kathleen Kennedy. At best, you're number 4. Oh, wait. Marcia Lucas, a woman, George's wife, edited the first one. So, Charmine, and let's not pretend that fucking, Carrie Fisher wasn't an amazing ambassador of feminine, womanly strength and independence, because she was. So, the whole point is, Charmine, you look past all of them. Carrie, Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard, Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, I gave at the beginning of the show a fucking speech about how we're all egocentric. It's the truth. Social media has made everyone just live in their own fucking fantasy bubble, and they're not aware of the world, the bigger world outside around them.
I suppose the best thing that she could have said besides this, when she was like asked whatever question is, it's like I come from a very long line of women that have helped shape Star Wars, and I look forward to leaving my imprint on it. Plain and simple. Easy peasy.
I can't wait to do Star Wars. It's a fucking awesome opportunity. I got a fucking awesome story. This shit's gonna kick ass. That's all you gotta say. Oh, but we're wrong, or we're crybabies, or we're incels. You're an incel if you dare push back against anyone who is different than you, I guess. Or if someone makes a stupid comment, and I do have the ability to think with nuance and not just fucking be all, crazy and pissed off. This idea that, like Daisy Ridley was asked this question.
Oh, that was such a loaded question.
And Rebel Force Radio covered it, so I give him credit because this question was like, it was about a woman. No, it was the woman director.
Yeah, we talked about that. We actually did.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like,
it was a very much loaded question.
No one is saying that there shouldn't be a woman director. First of all, there have been. Bryce Dallas Howard and Deborah Chow. But if you're not considering the fucking TV shows like important, like we keep saying Catherine Bigelow of the Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30, or whoever. No one is saying that. What we're saying is get the best of the best directors, the best actors, the best fucking writers. Make sure that they fucking want to do Star Wars, that their heart is goddamn in it, that they have an idea, and then let them fucking go for it. And we don't give a shit what the gender is. No one does.
I forgot it was, oh yeah.
And you know what? Don't get mad at people for reacting like this, because after 5 years of just basically fucking men suck, it's like, okay, we get it.
So, I read somewhere that the Captain America 4 movie was so poorly received by test audiences that it had to go through reshoots. So
Captain America what?
the new Captain America movie with the Falcon or Anthony Mackie as Captain America.
Mackie, yeah.
They had to reshoot the movie.
No one wants to see Marvel now. It's fucking dead. Marvel, pull the plug. Come back 10 years from now.
Well,
seriously,
I mean,
before you kill it.
I think they're trying to ride on this new Daredevil. Daredevil rises again, or rises, whatever it is.
Never gonna be a major mainstream guy like Iron Man because he fucking curses and says fucking dick and all that.
I mean, everyone's but guess what? That television show basically set the standard for Marvel TV because before,
I'm sorry, Daredevil. I thought you meant the other one, the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Deadpool.
I
mean,
that's the one I've heard that they're actually riding everything on. That the Deadpool and Wolverine, they're like, if Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't fucking make like a gazillion dollars,
it will.
We are fucked.
It will though, because A, it's rated R, and B,
rated R movies don't make billions of dollars, bro.
This one, the Deadpool 1 and 2 are like the top rated. Like they've made the most.
But I'm just saying, as far as stats go,
I get that.
It's. I'm not sure if an R-rated movie's ever gotten $1 billion.
It's gonna make a lot of money though. It will.
I hope so.
There's a lot going on in this movie.
Okay, it's not Marvel chat. We've gotten fucking crazy, sidetracked because of you. I want to talk about something that's very important to my soul and my heart.
Okay.
Fellow redhead, fellow basketball player, Bill Walton, claims Chewbacca the Wookiee was based on him. Now, if you don't know who Bill Walton is, and you don't watch sports, he is a very well-known, and still is, marijuana user, mushroom indulger, and psychedelic gobbler. So well-known for it that he even once toured with the Grateful Dead. Didn't play any instruments with them. He's 7 feet tall and he's a redhead. He just simply toured with them. He still calls college basketball games to this day. He's unbelievably entertaining. When they're coming back from timeout or commercial, they have this the first college basketball tournament year in, year out in Hawaii. And one time he was like, I was in the morning there, just, today, just kind of one with the universe, with the stars, with the volcanoes. And there's a fucking basketball game going on. And he's talking like this.
Well, Phil Jackson's the same way. Deadhead.
True, but Bill Walton invented this shit.
They literally don't they call Phil Jackson the Zen master?
Yeah, but Bill Walton was a better player. Bill Walton, MVP, won the NBA Finals with the Portland Trail Blazers, won it again as a sixth man for the Boston Celtics, voted in top 50, and as a college basketball player considered to be one of the top 2 or 3 of all time. But knowing that he has a sordid drug history
he's a hippie.
And
he's
present,
a fucking hippie.
and head present, knowing that he's a big fucking stoner hippie,
he's a
who's
hippie.
now, and he is 7 feet tall, but now he's close to 65, stoned out of his fucking mind.
Is he only 65?
Something like that. What do you think? Is he crazy?
Yeah.
You don't think Chewbacca is based on Bill Walton?
If he's only 65, then
he was famous before Star Wars. For UCLA, he was famous in the early to mid 70s. He was definitely famous.
He's got to be older than 65.
Well, then he's 70.
He's
Whatever, Quibbler! I don't
quibbling.
fucking care about the age. Do you think...
Probably not, no. It could be any tall person. Like, Chewbacca doesn't smoke weed. He doesn't play sports. He's a gambler. He likes to play chess.
So you think Bill Walton is full of shit?
Oh, I
and
totally
Chewie
think
is not based on Bill Walton. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to believe Bill Walton.
Really?
Where did he play college basketball? UCLA. I know George went to USC, But the point is, UCLA, USC, right there next to each other. George is a Southern California guy. And the point is, when George would be hanging out there, chilling out, fucking doing his thing, Bill Walton would have been a major, major star, major celebrity. You don't know about Bill Walton. Just relax. You got to trust the sports master on this one, because I see the little wheels turning in your head. Just chill. I know about Bill Walton. He's actually someone who's famous. You just got to trust the Dave man on this one.
Okay.
Do you know how famous of a college basketball player he was?
No.
Okay. He was, again, 7-foot redhead who led the UCLA to like 3 or maybe 4 national championships.
Was he on the same team with
Kareem had just graduated when Walton started.
Okay.
So Kareem went to the NBA, and it went from basically Kareem to Walton. That's the thing. In fact, Walton might have been a freshman when Kareem was a senior.
Okay.
But that is one of the things. They went from Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to Bill Walton, and they kept dominating. This is the period where the fucking UCLA won 10 championships, okay? 10. I mean, UCLA was the Green Bay Packers of that era of fucking college basketball, all right? Walton was a household name, okay? This guy was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He's from California. He was a hippie. You're right. Here's the thing. George was a hippie, or hippie-ish. He said him and Francis Ford Coppola became friends because they were the only guys who had longish hair and beards. And Walton did wear a beard, at certain points in his life. Hippie, anti-Vietnam. Bill Walton was arrested multiple times for protesting the Vietnam War at UCLA campus. So hippie, and we know George with the Nam, Coppola with the Nam, Apocalypse Now. This is shit. Nam, 7 feet, Southern California. I think Bill Walton is right. I think Chewbacca was based on Bill Walton, and as a result, I wish fucking Han would fucking put Chewie on the goddamn court, and I can bet you Chewie's good for 28, 12, and 6. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists a game. Easy. That's maybe taking the fourth quarter off. And don't even get me started on the amount of fucking block shots Chewie's going to have. He'll put Sean Bradley, fucking Dikembe Mutombo, Manute Bol, even Walton himself. He'll put them all to shame. Joker right now of the Denver Nuggets, fuck off. Chewbacca will be a one-man wrecking crew. I don't see him having a good jump shot. The fur. A lot of fucking shit getting in the way. I'm going to tell him this. Chewie, we don't need you putting a lot in the air. You don't got a jumper. Too much fur. You can, listen, you can crash the board and fucking duck it home for an offensive rebound and putback? Absolutely, Chewie. You let Han and Luke do most of the shooting. Okay? Pass that fucking ball off to Han and Luke. Okay?
Okay.
Thoughts and opinions?
It's possible. I wish George would have just said, yeah, I based Chewie off of Bill Walton. I was a huge, me and Francis Ford Coppola used to watch college games, and I was like, yeah, I love this guy. That's pretty easy to say. I mean, George has been pretty transparent on where he gets all his inspiration from. So.
Well, we do know, by the way, because don't think that I don't want any Yaddle heads giving us the email thinking we don't know. We do know that George's dog was the basis for 2 characters.
Indiana
Jones and Chewie. He said he had a huge fucking dog that would ride the passenger seat. So that was like Chewie sitting next to Han. And that the dog's name was actually Indiana. Thus the fucking thing. And then the joke at the end of Last Crusade. But I'm saying that, so that is the fucking dog. But the dog could have been small. The dog could have been a little fat dog, the size of a Gamorrean guard. The dog could have been a fucking R2-D2 dog. It could have looked like an Ewok. The fact that the fucking dog was 7 feet tall, California, hippie, Nam. That's Bill Walton right there. And from now on, I'm going to pretend that Bill Walton is always in that costume, with all due respect to David Prowse. Or no, I'm sorry, Peter Mayhew. God damn it. Minus 5 points.
What was it gonna? Shit. No, you ever seen the short film Lucas in Love?
No.
So it was like in the late 90s. Like it was the original Star Wars fan film where it was basically like Shakespeare in Love, where a college-age George Lucas is getting all his inspiration for Star Wars so his love interest is wearing the Leia buns, and then at the end of the movie, like, you know, they're riding bikes together, and it's supposed to be like the Speeders.
I like it.
And then at the end, they're like about to share this romantic moment, and his mom walks in. They both say "Mom," and that's supposed to be the Luke and Leia, brother and sister thing.
Disgusting.
It's a great joke. I thought it was a great joke. Okay. Great way to end it. But
well, that's it.
Okay.
We've done our fill.
Yes.
I'll say one quick little thing. Ewan McGregor says to all Star Wars fans, write to Disney, quote unquote, if you want Obi-Wan Season 2. I find it sad that this guy is now having to get us to do a campaign. Disney, it's Ewan McGregor. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's fucking great. In fact, he's probably the best actor playing an iconic character that you have. Okay, it's a specific designation. But what I'm saying is Samuel Jackson's an amazing character, but do we all go so crazy for Mace Windu? Or, even though Stellan Skarsgard's great, this guy's brand new on Andor. Obi-Wan Kenobi's an iconic character, and Ewan McGregor has been an Oscar-nominated actor who wants to play the role. And he's telling Star Wars fans, write to Disney.
Because they probably told him it's DOA. They don't have I think that they're having issues.
Yeah. That'll do it. How were those ribs upon
Good.
reflection?
Good.
You said that they weren't cooked long enough. Like I'm trying to give you salmonella poisoning.
No, it's just long, like low and slow, and you want the meat to fall off the bone. You want to be able to, like, literally pull the bone out and make a rib sandwich.
I hear you. I kept them in that crock pot for 4 hours.
On high.
Yeah.
I won't get into it now.
What, 6?
8. 8 minimum.
8 hours?
I'll leave mine in for like 9 or 10.
Jesus.
It's gonna cook in its own juices, its own fat.
Is that what they do?
Yeah. I mean, that's what when you do in a crock pot, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. Yaddle Chattle returns next week, ladies and gentlemen, for a special Valentine's Day episode where Jared and I will exchange candy, flowers, and poems to each other live on the air. You down for that?
Maybe.
The one time you could say no. The one time if you told me
then
no,
I
it
wouldn't be
funny.
going with the bed.
But maybe isn't going with the bid either. Maybe is not going with the bed.
Okay.
Look at him, he's so tired. What time did you get up to? I'm the one who hasn't slept. I don't know why you're so tired.
Then maybe you'll sleep now.
I ain't gonna sleep. Now I gotta do a little fucking Yaddle edit. And then I gotta do a little export and importing type of shit.
And then you can
Vandalay Industries to get this fucking thing up there online. You think the thing that magically appears on iTunes and Spotify and YouTube and EastSideDaveCountry.com by itself? No, sir.
Okay.
I want to thank you for 89 strong episodes, baby. This is our 89th episode. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Not really an episode to have an anniversary on. That's why we're not. I'm not making a big deal about it. We're just stating it as fucking fact. It is 89 episodes. 11 away from 100. That would be fun to do. Maybe a big show for there. He's Jared. I'm Darth David. Good night, everybody.